Diego Ribas recently won the Copa Libertadores and played in the FIFA Club World Cup with Flamengo. But before signing with the Brazilian outfit, he had a 12-year stint in Europe. He played for 6 different clubs in 5 different countries, winning the La Liga, the Primera Liga, the DFB Pokal, and the UEFA Europa League. But still, not everyone was convinced. So, welcome to UW Football, and today we look into just how good was Diego Ribas. Diego came through the ranks at Santos, making his debut for the club at the age of 16. Him and Robinho both had something special, and it could be seen on the pitch. The 16-year-old led Santos to the Brazilian Serie A title, scoring 10 times in just 28 games. A year later, Diego made his debut for Brazil and impressed there as well. The world believed that he was going to be the next big thing. So in 2004, both Juventus and Real Madrid wanted to sign him, but instead, Diego opted to join the European champions FC Porto. The only problem with this move was that Jose Mourinho along with Ricardo Carvalho and Deco were gone. Speaking of Deco, Diego had big boots to fill of Deco, and then 19-year-old just couldn't do it. Diego did win 3 trophies including the Primera Liga, but he wasn't anything special. Werder Bremen in Germany then decided to take a punt. They offered 6 million euros for his services, and Porto decided to cut their losses and let him go. Werder Bremen is where the European football started noticing Diego. Diego quickly adapted to the German football. In his first season, Diego won the German League Cup, scored 13 times, and was also voted Bundesliga's Player of the Season. Diego of Santos had well and truly arrived in Europe. Real Madrid once again and Arsenal both wanted to sign him, but this time around Diego decided to stay put. He wanted to establish himself properly before making another big move. The next year was exactly the same. However, in his third season, he had a bit of an issue with the injuries, but his performances were at a completely different level. Of course, this boost in Diego's performances could be credited to the arrival of Mesut Ozil, with whom Diego formed quite an incredible partnership. Diego that season scored 21 times in just 39 games, and that too from midfield. Werder Bremen that season won the DFB Pokal and reached the UEFA Cup final. Now it was clear that Diego had outgrown Werder Bremen, and now it was time for another big move. Real Madrid came in for him for the 3rd time, but again Diego said no. Instead, he opted for a move to Juventus. Again, like Porto, this was the wrong move for him. Juventus were going through a very tough phase, and they were looking to replace their older players like Alessandro Del Piero. So once again, the shoes that Diego had to fill were just way too big for him. His 25 million euro move was a flop. 5 goals in 33 games as Juventus finished 7th and failed to get out of the group stages of the Champions League. Diego's next stop was VfL Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg have fallen off after winning their first Bundesliga title 2 years ago, and they were looking to rebuild themselves back to the top. And to do that, they had hoped that Diego of Werder Bremen would pop up for them. But that wasn't to be. Just like at Juventus and Porto, things were just not clicking for Diego, and just a year later he was then loaned out to Atletico Madrid. Diego Simeone signed him not to be a starter, but to be a vital member in the squad, a guy that would provide quality off the bench, and that's exactly what Diego did as Atletico Madrid won the Europa League, a final in which Diego scored and assisted. Diego did exactly what was expected from him, so Atletico wanted to sign him permanently, but Wolfsburg, after looking at his performances, wanted to bring him back. So the following season in Bundesliga, Diego scored 10 league goals and assisted 6 times. He was the reason why Wolfsburg were not in a relegation dogfight. But for Diego himself, this was a drop-off from where he was at Atletico Madrid. So the next season in January, he rejoined the Spanish outfit. Diego was more than happy to play a squad role at Atletico Madrid than be a superstar at a lesser club. And once again, he did exactly what he was told to do. And at the end of the season, Diego won the La Liga and reached a UEFA Champions League final. Atletico Madrid wanted him to stay for another season, but Fenerbahce offered him money, and that's what Diego opted for. He did not light up Turkey at all, and within 2 seasons he returned back to Brazil, where in the first 18 months he was a superstar, but since then has transitioned into a squad role, a veteran role. So the verdict on his career is, when he was on it, he was a joy to watch. He would single-handedly carry a team and make them better, that is with Werder Bremen and Santos, but every time he was signed to replace a world-class player, he would struggle to fill the void left by them, that is with Deco at Porto and Del Piero at Juventus. A superstar to be remembered for decades he could have been, but now he will only be remembered by the Werder Bremen fans. Like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.